Hi, boys and girls. So I'm moving on to chapter 17, as you could see right here. However, I left the previous chapter's last verse, 16. Abraham was Shmonim v'shesh shanim. He was 86 years old when Hagar had Yishmael. He was 86. We now open, and Abraham was 99 years old. So we're 13 years later. So now Ishmael is 13 years old in chapter 17. Okay? And God appears to Abraham and he says to him, I am God Almighty. Actually, the name in Hebrew, El Shaddai. And I spoke to you about God, who is a nourishing God, Shaddai from the word breast. And he tells Abraham to be pure, and he is going to make a covenant between me, God, and you. And again, the same promise, you will be multiplied exceedingly, you will have many children. And God fell, he's overwhelmed, so he fell to his face when God is speaking to him. Let me move down a little bit. And God asks Abraham to put my covenant with you, that you're going to be a multitude of nations, and your name is being changed. So Abraham is moving to a different domain now. From Abram, he becomes Abraham, right? And he's going to the Hay for Avraham, Hamon. Hamon, you're going to be a father of many people. Avraham, Ki Hamon Goyim Netaticha. You're the father of multitude of nations, and you will have many children, and I will be your God. And then we're moving on, and all of a sudden, God tells Abraham to make a special covenant with all males among you. Everybody has to be circumcised. Remember, please, Abraham is 99 years old, Ishmael is 13 years old. Hence, the Muslim religion, they have circumcision at the age of 13. And everybody else, all other babies, Jewish babies, have to have their circumcision when they're 8 days old. So we have 8 days later on for Yitzchak, 13 years for Ishmael. Avraham is 99. Okay, and he circumcises everybody in his household. And God says to Abraham, and he changes his wife's name, Sarai, your wife. She's no longer Sarai, she is Sarah. I'm moving down a bit. Let me move it. And I will bless her, and I will give her a son. This is a surprise. So Sarah is 10 years younger than Abraham, but she's an old lady. So Abraham, he fell on his face and he laughed, and he says to himself, at my age, at 100 years old, and Sarah is 90 years old, we're going to have children? And Abraham is shocked, because until now he thought that the son that he had for the past 13 years is the one with whom all the promises that God kept giving him will be fulfilled. So he's in shock. All of a sudden, this boy that he raised, that he is my only son, he's all of a sudden becoming like a nobody. So Abraham turns to God and says, and what's going to happen with Ishmael? So God says, I have heard you. Don't worry, I will bless him too. He too will be fruitful and multiply, and he'll have 12 princes, as I told you earlier, and he will have a covenant. But my covenant will be with Yitzchak, the son of Sarah. And God left Abraham after this promise, and Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and that were born to him and everybody that was born, and he circumcises everybody in the family. All the men in the household, everybody is circumcised. And that brings us to the end of chapter 17. So everybody is circumcised. Yitzchak at 8 days, Ishmael at 13, Abraham at 99, and Sarah is 10 years younger than Abraham. Thank you, and we will continue with this next lesson.